It's Week 10 of the NFL, and we've got the Seahawks, leader at quarterback. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the...
Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And off we go on EA Sports. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Cardinals now getting set to go offensively, and it'll be the dual-threat quarterback Kyler Murray leading the way.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 4. Now the first carry here for the running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. If he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much, and it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. After the turnover, here's Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Murray now. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And his kick is good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawks offense and DK Metcalf getting ready to go back to work. And he's right up there amongst the league's best when it comes to racking up receiving yards this season. Currently ranked in the top 5 as things stand here. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
2nd and 3. That ball caught by his rookie wideout. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. The Seahawks at 7-1 now on the year. And they come in following a loss last week, and that, of course, ended that strong run they were on. They had won 7 in a row prior.
And something you pointed out to me before the game even began, they've had terrific fortune throughout their entire win streak, but we both saw it happen right in front of our eyes. Some of that good fortune dried up, and they ended up taking the loss.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball, and it's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll make it 3rd down. You look at this Arizona defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 2 now from the 3. Straight ahead is Hall. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, here's Hall. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal. They'll run with Hall. And this time he is in. Yes. Breece Hall, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Catch made right side by Wilson. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Shoving through the defense. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 12 yards to pick up, good enough for an Arizona first. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Hands it off out of the gun. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Now to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Devin Witherspoon. And the Seahawks are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Murray going to throw. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards to pick up there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
To throw, it's Murray. He completes it to Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Murray. Going right back to Wilson. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
A short one here, caught by McBride. So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 1 now. Now Murray again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you've got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers to New England a week ago. Now they find themselves in the lead here as they start 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall. Good footwork at the 30. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards. Now a 2nd and 6. They'll set up a throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Hall has it knocked loose, and the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Hall want to give up the middle. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. They'll go again with Hall. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Mack Wilson. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is 1 play from stalling out.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here, eluding the pressure right. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Well, the Cardinal offense going to take over late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing now is Murray. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. That ball caught. It's Rice. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. To throw is Murray. And that's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 6-point game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and it's the Lions who are out in front as they play the second quarter. Jared Goff with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head east to Minnesota to check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Tennessee Titans. Elijah Moore leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The Saints locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In the first half, the Cardinals did what they always do, and that's rely on their quarterback, Kyler Murray. He connected on a touchdown pass in that first half, and that's a big part of why his guys lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
On first down, right back to Hall. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
These two teams, they met up in Seattle earlier in the year with the Seahawks coming away victorious. So a win here in Arizona would give them the season sweep.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Here's a give to Hall. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Second and 5.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Back to throw here. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And his kick is good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Here's Murray.
Goes right back to McBride.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 9.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
2nd and 9 now. The Cards get to it here. He's brought down for a sack. Mack Wilson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
The offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Arizona's offense back out and ready to go. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray. And to the left side here, Wilson. So the completion good for 6 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a 1st. Murray now to throw. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Shotgun now from Murray. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
2nd down and 8.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Murray now.
That one complete to Trey Tucker.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. Here's Murray. Forced out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Derek Hall
in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum.
Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Murray. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
On the counter, it's Hall.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
The football going back over to Arizona now. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
From the gun, Murray.
That's caught by Tucker.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. In motion left goes a tight end. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Out of the gun, here's Murray. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Throwing again, Murray.
A short one here, caught by McBride.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now a handoff running through the middle. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No 1st down.
That was a good run. Probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Arizona, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.